For Comedy Hype News, I'm John Abba. As a black reporter, am I not allowed to interview black guests who share their experiences with other black talents or even criticize black talent? Are we wrong for the job for sharing the story despite our counterparts like CNN, MSNBC, who understand the position of being a platform? Now, you might hear Trump speak out about certain Democrats, and the following day you might hear those same Democrats respond, and no one decides to boycott CNN by simply being a platform. You see, this week, while appearing as a guest on Cam Newton's Funky Friday podcast, Shannon Sharpe would talk about his infamous Katt interview, which is now the most viewed podcast interview in YouTube history, sitting at just over 70 million viewers. Now, during the conversation, Sharpe told Newton that Katt predicted the interview would catapult Sharpe onto a higher level. In addition to predicting the success of the interview, Katt would also issue a warning to Sharpe, saying that it will now be harder to secure certain guests for Club Shay Shay.
He said, now they're gonna come for you. I said, can't come for me for what? I didn't say anything.
Right.
He said, they're gonna come and they're gonna say a lot of different things. And they're gonna be some people that you thought you might be able to get that they're not gonna come now. That's absolutely has happened. They were so excited. Thanks for reaching out. We can't wait to sit down. A day later, they can't do it. And then no call, they won't follow, so forth and so on.
Sharpe said he understood what comes with getting an interview of that magnitude, but he did not expect all the negativity that was attached. Sharpe will go on to mention that some of his industry peers that he was cordial with also took shots at him publicly due to the success of the interview. Okay, let's go back to the interview. If you remember, Steve Harvey, who was roasted by Katt Williams in the Shannon Sharpe interview, and D.L. Hughley, who was shown respect by Katt in that same interview, were two comedians who publicly shamed Shannon Sharpe for participating in a negative interview. Hughley would even go as far as to call Sharpe Wendy Williams with muscles, due to the drama-filled conversation he was beginning to host on his podcast. Sharpe would say if Katt Williams was mic'd up from the moment he stepped out the car until he sat down, the interview would have reached 100 million viewers. Sharpe also revealed that he had been trying to book Katt for an interview for a year before he finally accepted. It wasn't until Sharpe bumped into a woman who later revealed herself to be Katt's new tour manager that he was able to get Katt on his podcast a week later. What Shannon Sharpe is experiencing has felt to be something we've experienced over the last years as a platform dedicated to black comedy. In all of my experience of doing this, comedian Earthquake to me appeared to have gotten it right. Years ago, I interviewed his ex-wife in hopes to give a more in-depth look at his life, along with something that would catch viewers' attention, and it may have looked like an attempt to make Earthquake look bad. Now, outside of that speculation, we knew the honor system within reporting stories like this is that you always open the door for the other person to respond, and we did. And instead of denying to speak to us, Earthquake respectfully accepted the interview and voiced his concerns with the interview during his interview with us. That was it. Simply how a platform should be used. Both sides are able to share their point of view, nothing personal, we understood our roles, and on to the next story. And relatively 3 years later, I would join Earthquake in Los Angeles at a dinner table to help celebrate his comedy special with Netflix and Dave Chappelle. So to the black entertainers who choose to take things so personally when it comes to reporting on their lives as public figures, please understand that we are simply here to tell a story. You have to let us do our job. You see, when CNN decided to interview Osama bin Laden in 1997 after he would publicly declare jihad against the United States of America, did people stop watching or interviewing with CNN? D.L. Hughley has been on CNN many of times over the years. In fact, in 2008, he would even have his own show with a network called D.L. Hughley Breaks the News. So DL, a terrorist is more excusable than a comedian who decides to air out a few fellow comedians? That is hypocritical. My perspective is some of us feel conflicted when they see others doing good, especially if they didn't need our help to get there. At the end of the day, you not supporting these outlets and running to white outlets only exposes your inferiority complex and needing of white society to co-sign you to make you feel validated. Good boy. Is that what you want to hear? Now, black talent needs black media and black media needs black talent. And the more we collaborate with each other, the stronger we can both grow and learn along the way. D.L. Hughley, the door continues to be open for you to come on our platform to share your perspective and even respond to my position. This is how true platforms work. So what do you guys think about Shannon Sharpe's reveal that it's harder to get guests to come on his podcast after his Katt Williams interview? Let's talk about it more in the comments below. Plus, stay up to date for the latest news and comedy by subscribing here to our YouTube channel. and follow Comedy Hype across all social media. And plus, check out hypersclub.com for some cool memberships and original content. For Comedy Hype News, I'm John Abba.